Welcome everyone, I'm Big King Taurus and this is a review of Masterverse Wave 1 Battle Cat from the Netflix original series Masters of the Universe Revelation. Battle Cat is known throughout Masters of the Universe lore as not only He-Man's trusty steed, but one of his closest friends and among the few that know his secret identity. Battle Cat has been mostly depicted as a giant green tiger with orange stripes, sporting a helmet and an armored saddle, and today is no exception. This massive figure is based on his appearance in the Masters of the Universe Revelation cartoon. Battle Cat comes packaged in a large version of the Masterverse packaging to accommodate his massive size. He is the first beast to be released under the Masterverse banner. The box follows the same blue design of the standard figures with all the same verbiage, as well as a window to allow you to see the beast within. He comes with no accessories other than his armor and is secured in place with clear plastic bands. The back of the box gives us some more incredible artwork, this time showing us He-Man and Battle Cat thundering out of Castle Grayskull ready to do battle, while the Sorceress in her Falcon form hovers far above them. We also get a bio for Battle Cat that also makes mention of his alter ego Cringer, cross-cell images of the other Wave 1 Masterverse figures, and an image of the Battle Cat figure with all of its armor removed to represent Cringer. The left side of the box gives us additional artwork, this time of only Battle Cat himself, set in front of a mountain range with a view of several other heavenly bodies in the Eternian night sky, as well as a pair of pterodactyl-like creatures flying by. Battle Cat is shown roaring, looking off to the side with his eyes focused on something just out of our view. The right side of the box features Battle Cat's name and moniker of Fighting Tiger in the same blue to black theme found on the front of the package. But enough about the packaging, it's time to unleash the beast within. Here's Battle Cat out of his package. The first thing that really jumps out at me is that this figure is massive. Battle Cat is very faithful to his depiction in the Revelation series. Battle Cat's helmet and armored saddle are cast in a dark red, maroon soft plastic with a matte finish, with dark orange accents throughout, and the seat is painted in a darker red color. The figure itself is cast in an olive green color that is less vibrant than previous incarnations and is detailed with orange stripes. The eyes on the helmet are painted to look like his eyes are showing through, black for the cornea and pupils, and yellow for the iris. Battle Cat measures about 12 inches from nose to tail and is about 6 3/4 inches at the highest point on the saddle, while the figure itself is around 5 1/4 inches tall. The inside of Battle Cat's helmet is molded to fit securely in place by clipping onto the tiger's ears, but can easily come off. The armor can also come off. You can do this by undoing the two straps that run underneath the figure. Here's a brief demonstration of how soft and pliable Battle Cat's armor is. It's softer than any previous version of Battle Cat's armor, but in my opinion it doesn't take away from the figure. In fact, it helps with movement. Here's a side-by-side comparison of Battle Cat's armor next to Classic's Battle Cat's armor on the left and Origin's Battle Cat's armor on the right. With all of his armor removed, Battle Cat now becomes Cringer, the loyal pet and sidekick of Prince Adam. The concept of removing the armor to make Battle Cat into Cringer dates back to the original toy line from the 80s. The release of the original Battle Cat toy predates the Cringer character, and no specific toy would be made for Cringer until the Classics toy line, so kids would have to use their imagination and use an unarmored Battle Cat to fill this role. For this release, the tiger head lacks the traditional fierce tiger facial expression to better distinguish Cringer from Battle Cat. The ears are painted black, as well as the eyebrows, which are applied higher than where the brows are actually sculpted, giving Cringer an almost comical expression of being in a constant state of fear. While I can appreciate what Mattel was going for, I would have preferred the tiger head to have the fierce expression more commonly found with previous versions of Battle Cat, and have Cringer simply be a separate mold altogether, as Cringer has always been depicted as being significantly smaller than Battle Cat. Here is Masterverse Cringer, alongside his Masters of the Universe Classics counterpart. Since Classics Cringer was more of a pack and accessory for Queen Marlena and not really its own figure, it's seriously lacking in articulation. Besides the obvious height differences, you can see the differences in the aesthetics between the Filmation cartoon look and the Revelation series look. Here he is alongside Origins Battle Cat to the left and Classics Battle Cat to the right. You can see that these previous versions weren't really meant to be displayed as Cringer by simply removing their respective armors. Instead, they appear very ferocious. You can also see that these previous versions have a more vibrant green color than the olive color of Revelation Battle Cat. You can also see that Masterverse Battle Cat is noticeably larger than his previous incarnations when placed side to side. You can also see how much more articulated the Masterverse figure is. And now let's look at them all donning their respective armors. Here you can see that even though Masterverse Battle Cat is based on the designs of the previous versions, he falls in line with the aesthetics of the Revelation series and is more stylized. Let's take a look at his articulation. Jaw opens and closes on a hinge joint. Head can rotate on a ball joint and can turn 360 degrees. Neck can pivot up and down at the base of the torso. The upper torso cut doesn't seem to provide that much movement. This could just be an issue with my figure, but I couldn't get much articulation out of it. The waist can rotate the full 360 degrees. Front legs can rotate at the shoulders, but due to the sculpt, it can't do a full 360 degrees. The lower leg can swivel up and down and can rotate, but can't do a full 360 degrees due to the sculpt. Paws can swivel up and down and rotate a full 360 degrees. Hind legs can rotate at the hip joint. They can also swivel a little bit in and out. You can also get swivel and hinge movements at the knee and at the lower leg. And then you also have swivel and full 360 degree motion on the hind paws. And finally, the tail swivels up and down and can rotate a full 360 degrees. Here we have Masterverse Revelation He-Man, riding atop Battle Cat as he is meant to. He-Man's loincloth is a little too long and prevents him from sitting flush on the saddle, as well as his frustratingly weird hips requiring a bit of work to get his legs over the sides. But once you get him in place, they look great together. If you don't have Masterverse He-Man, but do have Classics He-Man, he can also be put atop of Battle Cat. Classics He-Man sits a little better in the saddle due to the shorter loincloth and better hip joints than Masterverse He-Man, and looks very good. Scales are close enough that they work well with each other. And here we have He-Man from Masters of the Universe Origins sitting on Battle Cat. As you can see, he looks small sitting there as the scales are different, but he was the one I had the least amount of trouble getting to sit in the saddle. Now let's take a look at all three pairings. By far, the Masterverse duo are the largest. On the other hand, the Classics team still hold up very well to this day due to the amount of detail in both figures, as well as them being more faithful to the original vintage toys than Masterverse. That's not to say that Masterverse is bad, only that the Masterverse offerings are more faithful to their animation counterparts in Revelation. Either way, they all display well next to one another and will look great on your shelf. And just for fun, here's King Grayskull on Masterverse Battle Cat. Since Masterverse Battle Cat is noticeably larger than Classics Battle Cat, you can use Masterverse Battle Cat as a stand-in for Battle Lion if you don't have one. I would like to see customizers take a shot at making a Battle Lion from him, as I feel he's a very good base to accomplish this. Or we may see a retool down the road into a Masterverse Battle Lion instead. My final thoughts. Masterverse Battlecat is a big figure who's a lot of fun. He displays well with not only his fellow Masterverse figures, but looks good mixing it up with other Masters of the Universe lines as well. Having Cringer's face underneath the mask adds to the playability, as you can use the figure to represent either character instead of just having a naked Battlecat when you take the armor off. Masterverse Battlecat should be readily available at Target or Walmart as of this recording. And a big shout out to my best friend Tomas, aka Romulus3. Hope you are feeling better and thank you very much for your support. Until next time.